a focus on property taxes. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Pennsylvania State Representative Jim Cox. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about what makes up our property tax. There are three components. There's the local share, there is the county share, and then there's the school portion. Right. How does this impact your constituents?
The three different taxes they're never popular taxes. You're taxing property, something that they feel they already own. But the problem that we hear most is from the school property tax. That's the one that hits in July 1st, almost without fail in your mailbox on July 1st, unless it's a Saturday or Sunday. And people just call my office relentlessly saying my school property taxes have continued to go up year after year. And so it's an ongoing problem.
You actually introduced legislation last session that was 1776, and it was related to the elimination of the school portion of the property tax. You've actually introduced legislation, House Bill 76. Now, talk to us a little bit about what's changed between these two pieces of legislation.
Okay. Last session when we introduced, we had 60 co-sponsors for a piece of legislation that focused on eliminating just the school property taxes, nothing to do with the county or local. We had a lot of interest in it, and as I said, 60 co-sponsors, so we had some incentive to move things along. In the House, we asked for a study, but the House and Senate has similar versions. We asked for a study from the Independent Fiscal Office. And what we requested in the study was simply to let us know what we need to do to make sure the bill does what we had designed it to do. It's a huge bill. Then it was 170 pages. So it was a comprehensive approach to the problem, and we wanted to know, does this do what we designed it to do? We felt it did. We wanted them to give us the numbers on it. The study that they came out with in September of last year was phenomenal. 75, 80-page report that walked through piece by piece saying, here's what this part of the legislation does, here's how much money it raises, et cetera. And so with those details, we've said, all right, we have a little bit of a revenue hole to fill, here's how we're going to fill it, and now we know this new legislation takes care of the job.
Does this legislation get you far enough in terms of the funding in order to fund school districts? If you're eliminating it from the property taxes, how then do you make up the difference, and is there enough revenue to do that?
What the report shows is that with these changes, we will absolutely have enough revenue to do it. The bill, as we had to introduce it this session in order to cover the revenue hole, last session we had 6% to 7% on sales tax. We also introduced some new services and goods that would be taxed now for the first time. Those stay the same by and large. There were a few minor changes that were drafting errors, but we fixed those problems, and that looks almost exactly the same. The income tax went from, our goal last session was to move it from 3.07 to 4.01. They told us that that wasn't enough to fill the revenue gap. We are increasing it this session, so instead of 3.07 to 4.01, it's now 3.07 to 4.34, an increase of 1.27%. So putting it in a nutshell, $1 on every $100 of goods and services that you purchase, and it's a new dollar you'll have to spend. For every $127 that you make, or for every $100 you make in income, you'd have to pay another $1.27. So in the scheme of things, it's not a huge change, but it is enough to eliminate our school property taxes.
Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely.
We've been talking with Pennsylvania State Representative Jim Cox. I'm Jill Horner.